Well, you can't write it. And if you tried to write it down and show it to somebody, they would just say, don't be silly. There's no way that's going to happen. I mean, the circumstances are just, they're just incredible. Having to beat a side like QPR to win the title and you're at home, I mean, really, it should have been a given. But as Craig explained it so well, the way it unfolded, it's fantastic now for Man City fans. I mean, it's great for us outsiders watching it. When the goal goes in, I mean, anybody who's a football fan must have been off the seat, unless you're a Man United fan, of course. So, yeah, absolutely extraordinary.
And it had to be Aguero, of course. Great. His celebration, brilliant. I imagine that's something you'll look back. I quite enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, and I don't know if he got booked for taking his shirt off or what. Who cares? But it was, you know, he was always going to be an icon for the City fans anyway. Never mind the sort of 8 years he's had since and what he had before. But that goal would forever portray him as a legend at Manchester City. And for it to fall to him, and we know how good a player he is, we know how good a finisher he is, and for him just to dispatch it in the way that he did so late on, it was the last chance. He wasn't going to get another chance. They were not going to get another chance. This was it. And Paddy Kenny, as I said, had made a hell of a lot of saves that day. But he hit it so hard and controlled. And there it was. The title was then delivered on a plate. Let's not forget, these City fans have had to sit at that point and watch Man United win title after title, Champions League after Champions League, FA Cup after FA Cup. They've had their noses rubbed in it so many times. Can you imagine if they had blown it to lowly relegation fight in QPR? These people couldn't have faced work on a Monday morning. So it was all on the line, mate. And as you know, I never really get caught up in the emotion too often. But to say, I remember looking at Peter Drury during that game saying, they've blown this. How the hell are they blowing this? But they had at one point, they had bottled it, and it was incredible. And to see the supporters and see how much it meant to them in defeat and then in victory was actually quite a special moment.
I think I made a fair statement at the start of this segment talking about the fact that this is the most dramatic ending we've seen in the Premier League era, but let's not forget, of course, football did exist before the Premier League. And Stevie, you were involved in that extraordinary match at Anfield, of course. Arsenal taking on your side. Arsenal needed to win by at least 2 goals, and they did so thanks to that late winner from Michael Thomas. Out of the two, Stevie, in your opinion, which was the more dramatic?
Oh, I think you've got to say Aguero. The fact that it's the last second, it's the last kick, the whole way the game unfolded. I mean, the only thing we can say is that, you know, both Arsenal and I were going for the title. So it was the two best teams in the league at that time. The City one, the story is just incredible. You know, a team of no hope as QPR, struggling all year against a team that had been sensational pretty much all season. And so the way that unfolded, I have to tell you though, when I saw the pictures of Manchester United players walking around the field having found out the result, the first thing that came to my mind was that game you were talking about, Dan, that we lost to Arsenal, because I knew exactly how they felt. I can't tell you I know how Aguero felt, but I could tell you how Man United players felt walking around. You know, you don't know what to do. You don't want to speak. There's complete silence everywhere. You go in the dressing room eventually and you sit down and you just stare into the ground. You don't want to get changed. You don't, as I said, you don't want to say anything. And eventually somebody, one of the coaches will say, right, let's go. And then everybody will make a move. You know, your head goes into a fog. As I said, I remember it only too well. Unfortunately, I can't quite put myself in the position of Aguero.
To that point, Stevie, which would be harder, do you think? You, for Liverpool against Arsenal, where fate was in your hands, you pretty much had the control of your destiny, or Manchester United, where it didn't matter what you did, it was all reliant on City, and of course they gave you that little bit of chance, that hope, which was taken away from you in the 95th minute.
Well, clearly you want everything to be in your own hands. But the problem that United had was that their game was done and they were told that City were 2-1 behind. Now, as poor as QPR had been, knowing that it's actually injury time, knowing that they have to score twice, otherwise you've won the Premier League title, I don't care how good an imagination you have as a player, you just don't see that happening. Man United players, nobody concerned with Man United would have even dreamt that they would have got 2 goals in that injury time to win the title. So, listen, you want it in your hands. So, for United, just for a couple of minutes, they were champions, but then they got taken away big time.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.